fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now at BuySellMakeOffer.com. This is your official invitation to get on board to sell your stuff right now. Free for the next 60 days. And once you see how easy it is, you'll want to sign up for more because there are no item fees. That's right. Take this opportunity to move items from the other guys and sell it for free. You might even win a Samsung tablet, Amazon gift cards, and other cool prizes. BuySellMakeOffer.com is the future of online selling. You can use Skype to talk to your buyer or seller. Plus, you can use video to showcase your items. BuySellMakeOffer.com.
It's time for some delicious food at Pizza Dilly. Pizza Dilly Pizza in Colton, home of the famous 2-foot pizza with 32 slices of simply the best delicious Pizza Dilly mouth-watering pizza. Pizza Dilly has all kinds of lunch specials Monday through Friday, starting at $3.99, all delicious. Stop by, refresh, refuel, have a cold drink, enjoy a tasty salad or a great specialty Dilly-licious sub sandwich, or simply Dilly-lightful Pizza Dilly wings. Pizza Dilly is also People Dilly because your friends are all already there enjoying one of Pizza Dilly's giant screens, watching one of their favorite teams, and if you love the Dodgers, you'll love Pizza Dilly, your hometown Dodger station, all year round. Come on in, enjoy a great pizza, enjoy Pizza Dilly, the real Dilly deal at 194 East Valley Boulevard in Colton, or call 909-370-0242. Once again, that's 909-370-0242.
KCAA invites you to support our very own Relationships 2.0 host, Michelle Skeen, in raising funds for the Ronald McDonald House Charities in the 38th Annual Chicago Marathon, October 11th. Every year, RMHC and its local chapters give more than 7 million children the strength to persevere as they run their own marathons, fighting illness and injury throughout months, sometimes years. Michelle will be running in the marathon, and if you would like to join her in becoming a Team RMHC runner, please go to the RMHC homepage or simply Google RMHC, Ronald McDonald House Charities. You can also help by contributing in fundraising efforts or by becoming part of the year-round sponsorship of Ronald McDonald House Charities. For more information about RMHC, visit rmhc.org. And remember to give your support to KCAA's Relationships 2.0 host, Michelle Skeen, as she runs the 38th Annual Chicago Marathon in support of Ronald McDonald House Charities.
It's time for the KCAA Community Calendar, brought to you exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools. The clear mission of Learn for Life is to motivate and mentor students who have dropped out of school and provide them with the personalized education and technical training necessary to advance their lives.
Hi, I'm Judith Light. So there you are. It's flu season, and you're over 65 like me. You're having another busy year. So much to do, so many roles in life to play. But you feel like you might be forgetting something serious. Your annual flu shot. And before you know it, it's too late. It's not just the aches, fever, and chills that last for days and days. The flu can be life-threatening, especially if you have chronic conditions like diabetes and heart disease, which can worsen with the flu. Being active and healthy alone won't protect you. The immune system weakens with age, making you more susceptible to the flu. If you're over 65, ask about your vaccine options, including one made specifically for us. An annual flu shot is the best way to help keep the flu away. Visit the National Council on Aging at ncoa.org/flu to learn more and talk to your doctor or pharmacist about vaccine options for people 65 and older. Again, that's ncoa.org/flu.
The KCAA Community Calendar is presented exclusively by Learn for Life, a growing network of public charter schools where students can complete their education on a part-time basis. To find a resource center nearest you, call 1-877-360-LEARN or visit Learn for Life online at learn4life.org.
We found the problem with your car.
And
Turns out the carburetor differential modulator is out.
what?
And while we were digging around in there, this thing fell off.
stop. There's no automotive repair nightmares at Diego Martinez's 5-Star Automotive in San Bernardino. 5-Star Automotive, where you'll get a great experience, and home of the $15.99 oil change. That's right, just $15.99. They specialize in transmissions, brake repair, AC, and many other repairs, all with a lifetime warranty on parts and labor. Diego knows when your auto needs 5-star attention, it's never convenient. He offers a 12-month interest-free auto repair loan on major auto repairs with no money down. He'll even throw in free towing and a 10% discount for his neighbors in the 909 who work for the city and county of San Bernardino. Call 909-387-0770. That's 387-0770. Your neighbors at 909 West 2nd Street in San Bernardino.
KCAA.
Hey there, sports fans. Chabdog here. You have tuned into one of the best shows on the air for all of your up-to-date sports coverage and news. You haven't laughed so hard and been informed so much until you've heard it from the mouth of the sports expert himself, El Chabdog.
Working now?
Sounds like it.
All right, let's get right into it. Sorry about that glitch. Welcome to another edition of Chabdog Sports Talk, the weekly talk show brought to you by Chabdog Sports Blog, your place for ahead of your sports headlines. Law office of Brandon Chabner, serving Southern California's transactional legal needs, and the law offices of Arnold Goodman, Mortgage Mitigation Legal Services. This is a very well-run law firm. They can really help if you're in a situation with a troubled mortgage, financial distress in terms of making your mortgage payments, or your house is upside down in terms of home value. And so if you're wondering about your options, you should call the Arnold Goodman Law Firm. I've worked with them. They're great. 1-888-800-6030. Again, 1-888-800-6030, or at www.arnoldgoodmanlaw.com. All right, well, this is the last episode before you go up to on your fishing excursion, right?
Fishing mission.
Yeah.
Go up to the Eastern Sierras and paddle around in my float tube and pursue the elusive trout.
Yeah. You could have just gone to Anaheim to see the trout.
Yeah, not
That's
my favorite.
Not the same, though.
No, the Sierras are so nice. I mean, we fish certain lakes, and the views are spectacular. So it's always nice to get up there for a few days and just get away from, the monotony of, living in concrete jungle.
Yeah. So you got the tent going, and are you cooking outside and eating is it like a camping type experience at all, or is it?
Well, when we first started 12 years ago, yes, we did tents. Now my buddy has a 36-foot diesel pusher. So no, now we are in a motorhome.
Oh, okay.
But we still cook outside.
And you fish and you eat what you catch, right?
I catch and release.
Oh, you catch and release.
Unless one of my friends wants fish to take home, I just catch them and let them go.
What a nice guy.
Yeah.
I mean, after you're going through all the trouble to catch the thing and you're not going to eat it.
Leave it for the next fisher.
Well, good for you. So did you get a chance to watch any of the game last night?
I did. I watched that game. It was kind of weird.
Yeah.
I didn't think Peyton Manning looked all that good. I question his arm strength.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for 2 years, is that he can't get the ball down there fast enough, and sooner or later the defense have got to wake up and just dare him to throw it long, because even last night I noticed on the last drive those balls barely got there, and that somehow it was like kind of like magic that the balls weren't knocked away.
Well, his new coach Kubiak has to understand what the process needs to be, and for them to be productive, it needs to be get the ball out of his hand quick and
quick
and short passes. Because when he goes to throw it more than 30 yards down the field, I just don't think he has the zip on the ball that he used to have.
Yeah, the running game's okay. I mean, I think the strength of that team now is the defense. It's changed.
Yeah, and then on the flip side, when Charles fumbled, I mean, who would have thought? You know, he's their stud running back, and all of a sudden he fumbles with 9 seconds to go, and
well, he wasn't protecting the ball with his other hand. That's what they said.
Apparently not.
But I mean, still, it was just a kind of a fluke play.
Yeah.
But in football, you can't do anything half-assed, you know,
right.
And it kind of looked like a half-assed play.
Right. So you know, we're sitting there watching it, and everybody's thinking, okay, we're going in overtime, and next thing you know, game over.
Yeah, I know. I was getting ready to watch it at the gym. Got ripped off. So that game's we can't talk about what's going to happen in that game, but what about the ones that are coming up? I want to start memorializing some of this stuff. You're gonna go out on a limb, talk about the Tennessee-Cleveland game?
Well, I have a friend that is a big Cleveland fan, and he was cracking up about how Cleveland played last weekend. So I think it's a no-brainer to pick Tennessee over Cleveland.
No-brainer?
Yep.
I don't know. Rookie quarterbacks are never no-brain favorites, I think, or rarely in the beginning of the season.
Well, I mean, Manziel's a rookie quarterback per se.
Yeah, he's never won a game, I think, as a starter.
I'm not sure.
He's a Smurf. I mean, I think it's too much to ask for him to beat the Titans. So I would agree with that. Okay, and then you had one other one, right?
And what was that?
New England and Buffalo.
Oh, yeah, Tom Brady. How could I pick against him?
Well, they don't lose that game very often. They're like 23-3 in Buffalo over the last jillion years.
I understand Buffalo's got a better defense, and
they're going to be fired up.
But they got Gronkowski.
Remember who's the coach of Buffalo?
Yeah, some dude that lost a bunch of weight.
Sexy Rexy.
Yeah.
I'm going to, I can't believe just for the hell of it, I'm going to go with
Buffalo. So tell
me
your picks.
I'm going to go with Buffalo, too, just to spite you.
Well, how do you pick the same team I picked?
Well, just in case, if Buffalo wins, then I get an extra little point.
Oh, okay.
You're free to disagree with me. I'm going to take the Rams over the Redskins.
Oh, that's a tough pick.
I know that took a lot of nerve.
Duh.
But they are playing in Washington. And when's the last time? Well, probably last year, the Redskins lost 2 games in a row in Washington.
Yeah. I mean, you threw this at me after you already made your picks, and then you came up with the rules that there can not be more than a 4-point spread. And
well, I wanted to pick really challenging games, and apparently this is still
the Rams in Washington challenging.
This is up for grabs, according to Vegas.
The Rams are up by
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
Well, the home team always gets 3, so in reality, the Rams are up by 6.5.
I don't know. I think.
Well, have you ever gambled in your life?
You agreed to the 4-point.
Yeah.
Seattle and Green Bay. That looks like a Green Bay win to me.
I wouldn't disagree.
I think Green Bay's pretty upset about the last few times they've lost. Pretty miraculous losses.
I think the home team
Seattle,
always. I think the home team always has an advantage. Seattle will be 2 weeks in a row. They've been on the road. So hard to travel and play 2 weeks in a row on the road.
So Marshawn Lynch's mom's going to be upset probably.
feed him a bowl of soup.
Maybe this could be a brutal game for you, Marshawn, if you get the ball a lot. We'll see.
Well, what about that fourth down play? I mean, it's the same thing they did in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Try to run it up the gut.
Utterly predictable and utterly futile.
Yeah, Pete Carroll, every once in a while you got to think outside of the box.
Well, he won a world title in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he won a national title, I think, right? At
USC.
There are not too many guys that have done that.
That's true. There are not too many guys that got away with cheating without getting reprimanded for it.
Well, timing is everything in terms of that and the stock market. And
why do you think he left USC?
Yeah. Well, let's go to our first. Is it time for our first break, or do we have any time left? All right, we're going to go to break, and we'll be right back with Larry Burnett, Open Season.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdognostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
This is KCAA.
Okay, we're back with the next segment in Chabdog Sports Talk. All right, well, it's time now to welcome in the host of the first part of the sports block on KCAA, AM 1050, Larry Burnett. Okay, can you hear us, Larry?
I hear you.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks for calling in, you had a busy show. We were hearing that open season show.
Yeah, we try to squeeze a bunch of stuff into an hour. It's
yeah.
it's fun. It's fun. Had a good guest, Yogi Roth from the Pac-12 network was with us, and talked some Pac-12 football, so it was good.
Yeah, I got Mike Patterson here also. He's my co-host. So say hello to Larry, Mike.
Hi, Larry.
Hello, Mike.
Yeah, I got a title. It doesn't pay much, but I got a title.
Well, that's good.
Everybody wants a title.
It's better than not having a title and not getting paid much.
All the teams are trying for titles, and
that's true.
So, do you think do you like having your own show as opposed to being on with a big mammoth organization like ESPN?
I like to work. I like to work. I like to talk sports, and I like to talk to interesting people. Mm-hmm. So any way, shape, or form that I can do that, I like to do it.
Yeah. And you were with ESPN for how long?
I was there for 4 years, from the mid-'80s up until 1990 when I came out to start the Prime Ticket Press Box news show that we did back in 1990.
Mm-hmm.
And when you were with Prime Ticket, was that mainly for Dodgers?
No. Actually, they hired me to come out from ESPN because Prime Ticket, which was owned by Bill Daniels and Jerry Buss and I can't think of the other guy's name, Bruce McNall, I think, was involved in it. They had started Prime Ticket that was carrying the Laker games and the Kings games.
Yeah.
And they thought, gosh, this would be a really good idea to put a news program on after these things, and we should be able to sell the heck out of it because the people who are watching the games will get to go directly into a sports news show.
Mm-hmm.
And they called it Press Box, and Alan Massengale and Glenn Walker and I anchored it, started in 90, and, worked pretty well. We covered everything locally, and long story short, it got sold to Liberty Sports and then Prime Sports, but it was the first regional nightly sports news show in the country, and it eventually became Fox Sports News.
Okay, and you also worked for KCBS, LA.
I filled in for Jim Hill a couple of summers when I was working on the Laker broadcasts, and he would actually take a day off every once in a while, and so they'd call me in the summertime, and I'd go in and fill in an anchor on KCBS. Yeah, it was fun.
Nice.
Yeah. You've met some you had some pretty amazing interviews, I'm sure, and met a lot of people, and you keep meeting people. That must be a lot of the fun of it. It's just
it's a people business, and it's when I was growing up, I was always into sports, and when I was in high school, my senior yearbook, they put ambition, and I put in there sports broadcaster. I really wanted to be a professional baseball player, but I found out that you had to have talent.
Yeah, so did I.
Yeah, and so I thought, well, listen, I like sports. I like, being in front of people. I like entertaining people. How can I put the two things together? And I figured, well, sports broadcasting. And, one of the few people I know who actually had a goal in high school and stuck with it. And, it's a great way to make a living. It's a crazy business, but it's something different every day. It's not 9 to 5. And the guy who hired me out here for Prime Ticket back in 1990 was John Severino. And he said, if you ever think you don't like what you're doing, go work in a bank.
So where did you go to college, and where did you get your start in sports broadcasting?
Oh, boy. I went to the University of Tulsa.
Tulsa, yeah.
Interestingly enough, I grew up in New Jersey, wound up in Oklahoma to go to school.
Yeah, how does that happen?
It's a really long story. You don't have time for it. And it's not all that interesting. But, fate has ways of making things happen. And I got out of college and had very little experience and couldn't get a job. And I took a job working in Stillwater, Oklahoma, up by Oklahoma State in a cable system, doing everything. I was the traffic person. I was in charge of sales. I was the audio guy. I was the lighting guy. I did interviews. I directed. So I learned all kinds of things, and I got an offer to audition for a job in Sherman, Texas. And I wound up getting a job there. It was the 183rd smallest market in the country, 66 miles north of Dallas, and it was an experience. You're not going to believe this, but when I drove down there for the interview, they said, we do all of our local stories on 35 millimeter slides. This is television. I said, what? They said, yeah, we get a network feed, and so we get some national stories and things on tape, but we do all of our local stories on 35 millimeter slides. You know how to use a 35 millimeter camera, right? And I had never used one in my life. And I said, sure. We had to shoot, we had to develop, and everything else.
Good answer.
So for the first 6 months I was there, I would go to the high school games, Sherman, Texas high school games. Billy Don Jackson was playing for Sherman, Texas then, and I'd take my 35 millimeter camera and I'd shoot the games, and I'd talk to the coach on recorder afterwards, and I'd go back and put my local stories together for TV.
I was going to say, it sounds like small town Texas high school football was probably the main thing.
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah,
it's
the only thing in Texas.
Yeah, and listen, Billy Don Jackson was he eventually went to UCLA, and then they found out many years later that he couldn't read. But he was this incredible defensive tackle for Sherman, and he was so highly recruited. Here I'm in this little town in Texas, and I've got Barry Switzer coming to town. I've got Bear Bryant coming to town. I've got Fred Akers coming to town, and I'm getting interviews with all these guys. So it was great for me. We were there 6 months, and they bought a mini-cam unit for the station. It was KCAA-TV, and that was used for news, weather, sports, sales, promotions, and if there was like a bar mitzvah or something that needed to be shot on the weekend, they would do that too. It was fun.
So it's a lot different than ESPN, where everything.
Well, listen, when I first interviewed at ESPN, it was like 1980, and they had just really launched.
So it wasn't a
machine. I went up there, and it was, you fly into Hartford, and then you drive through this wooded area, and then you come around a corner, and all of a sudden there's these satellite dishes, and it was like Star Wars.
It's like communicating
but they had one
with the
building.
aliens.
They had one building. Their newsroom was about the size of Starbucks, maybe. They had old wooden school teachers' desks that they had gotten from the Board of Education when they were throwing them out, and that's what it was. And now it's like a college campus. They've got their own food courts. They've got more studios than you know what to do with. I was just up there 2 years ago visiting.
Well, they have to film a lot of commercials there,
Yeah,
it's unbelievable.
Well, yeah,
it's unbelievable.
It's kind of like a Microsoft or Google type of campus, right?
Very much so. I mean, it's self-contained. It's bigger than life. Everything you can want to do there, you can do there. And what's interesting is the way that ESPN has changed. When I first got there, they didn't have baseball. They didn't have football. They basically had Australian rules football and a couple of shows that they ran over and over and over again.
Yeah, I remember that Australian rules football.
Oh yeah.
That's a weird sport.
And then at that point they didn't want to make their anchor people, their talent, they didn't want to make them stars. They didn't want them to be the focus. So if you go back and you look, 1970s, 1980s at ESPN, you almost never find a promo for SportsCenter that had the talent in the promo. It was all about the show. And look how far they've come, 180 degrees, where they're doing all those great promos with the athletes, and they've got their anchor people out doing play-by-play and stuff, which we never did back when I was there. So they've really come 180 degrees.
Yeah, well, it's obviously grown into a much larger business than it was when it kicked off.
Do you still stay in touch with some of those guys like
Chris Berman,
Tom Mees?
I haven't. I saw Boomer at a premiere a few years ago. And every once in a while we run into each other, but no, we don't keep in touch that much. It's just every once in a while you'll be at the same event and you'll see somebody, and it's like old home day,
So talk about you can talk a little about open season, and is there was your thought? Is it going to be more sports information, or is it just a combination of interviews and information, right?
Well, we just want to have some fun. Mark Mancini and Fred Wallen came to me and said, "We're thinking about doing a show. Would you be interested?" And I said, "Yeah." And then it kind of fell on my shoulders, and we pulled it together. And Gary Garver, who does Controlled Chaos in the morning, I had done some work with him and had been doing his show, and we worked it out to get a show on. My feeling is, like I said, I love talking to interesting people, and so I want to get great guests on there, and I want to be able to talk to them. But then, surrounding that, we want to talk about the topics of the day, of the week, the issues. Should Steve Sarkisian have been suspended for the outbursts, and whatever is there, we talk about. And Fred and I have been around the business for a long time, and we're not beholden to a whole lot of people, so we pretty much say what we think, and hopefully people like it.
All right, Larry. Well, thanks for being our guest. We got more to discuss with you, so I hope we can get you back on in the future. And you're doing I like your show at 6 o'clock.
Well, I appreciate that, and just let everybody know that next Friday night at 6, we've got Vin Scully as our guest.
Oh, the Vin.
And
yeah.
The Vin, and the week after that, October 2nd, Jerry West is going to be on open season.
All right.
So,
All right.
Nice.
Jerry West, what a great guest. All right. All right, well, let's go to our next break, and we'll be right back.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
KCAA Loma Linda.
Okay, we're back for the second half, second whatever, of Chabdog Sports Talk. Well, it must be, there must be something in the air because I'm talking to a lot of people from the Redskins lately. And got a guy on the line, Dom Richardson.
Yes, sir.
You're an interesting person because you spent time in Washington and at Howard University, right? And then played for the Redskins. And you also grew up in where I live now in Hermosa Beach, right around there in Redondo Beach, right?
Yes, sir, I did. I actually grew up in Redondo Beach area.
And don't call me sir now because I'm very sensitive to that. I just turned 50 and I don't want to be perceived as 50. So
yeah, he's old.
Call me Chabdog, please.
Okay, yeah,
you're
Chabdog.
You're required to call me Chabdog, and I will call you the Dominator.
Hey, that sounds good to me.
Yeah. This guy is big. If I ran into him at the gym and I knew he had 405 bench written all over him. At least.
I'm looking at the picture, and you're all yoked up.
Did you look like that when you played football?
Actually, no. I was a little bit softer when I played football. I was more massive, but I wasn't as toned and ripped up.
Yeah, because you were 301, right? That was your official weight.
That's what they had us listed in the brochure on the roster. But I was weighing in around 331.
Gosh, 331.
Yeah, just like when I played high school basketball, they listed me at 6'4". I'm 6'2".
It's advertising.
So were you O-line, D-line, linebacker? What did you play?
Well, I played offensive line. For the Redskins, I played offensive line. In college, I came in. Went to Howard University. I came in as a tight end. Just had a freak incident where I took a helmet to the knee, ended up having knee surgery, and then I blew up from 265 pound tight end to a 290 pound tight end. So, needless to say, I couldn't stretch the field like I did before. So they said, "Hey, you got one option. You can either play offensive line or you can play whatever."
Did you play?
Actually, no. Let me digress. Let me digress. It wasn't an option. They told me I was going to play offensive line.
Did you play guard?
No, actually, I played tackle. They thought my footwork was pretty decent.
Must be pretty fast.
Positions, I played left tackle.
Yeah, left tackle. Oh, that's the blind side, right?
Exactly.
Yes, sir.
So did you you did well in college, I assume, and that's how you got under contract with the Redskins, right? I mean, you want to go through that process a little bit?
Oh, sure. I excelled. It was probably one of the best moves I could have made, moving from tight end to tackle, because Howard University wasn't throwing the ball to the tight end enough to have a professional scout looking at you. So when I moved to left tackle, I played right alongside of Marcus Ogden. Marcus Ogden is the brother of Jonathan Ogden.
Yeah, Jonathan Ogden. Yeah, he went to my high school. Churchill.
Exactly.
Winston Churchill. Yep. Yeah.
Didn't he go to UCLA?
I'm sorry?
Didn't he go to UCLA?
Who?
Yes, he's a UCLA guy.
Yeah.
Yes, and then he went to...
He was an anchor at left tackle.
He went to Ravens.
UCLA, or for the Rams forever.
Was he Rams or the Ravens?
He was a Ravens guy.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So
anyway, so you were on a pretty serious line. You were probably punishing a lot of people, huh?
I would like to say so. I was more so like a finesse guy, actually. That's why they moved me to left tackle instead of right tackle. I was better at pass protection than I was just mauling some guy over. So it worked out.
Yeah, and then when it was your career was over, what's the process then? I mean, how did you end up involved with the Redskins?
Okay, so what happened was a couple scouts were coming to recruit or look at Marcus Ogden because he was the big name at Howard University at that time. And I guess when they started seeing film, we were playing together at the same time, so they were intrigued with the way I could play, the way I could pull, my speed, my strength. So they invited me to their tryouts. So I went and I tried out. I started out at right tackle, and then I moved to right guard. Then I moved to left guard, and I moved to left tackle, all within 1 day's tryout. So they were intrigued with that. They thought my flexibility and my versatility was pretty decent, and then something they could use. And then they offered me a 3-year contract.
So how many guys were at the tryout? Was it like 50, or is it less than that?
I would say there was probably about 45 to 50 guys at the tryout.
And then how many of those guys get offered contracts out of that group?
Probably maybe three to 5.
Yeah. So, so that's great. You had a terrific day.
I would like to think so. Yes, sir.
Yeah, and then that was a good team. The 2005 Redskins, I think they got to the playoffs. They were like 10-6 and lost to the Seahawks in the playoffs, and the Seahawks ended up going to the Super Bowl. So
exactly.
Did you meet a lot of the guys that were on that team?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah.
The camaraderie in that team was amazing. There was no one differentiated between if you were an 11-year player or a rookie. Everybody was cool. I mean,
oh, that's nice. Yeah. So you didn't get hazed a lot?
Oh, I didn't say that. The veterans did haze. I remember.
Well, you can tell a hazing story if you want. That we're always interested in juicy stories.
Yeah, I remember we went out to Ozio's. It was a restaurant, a 5-star restaurant in D.C. It sits on the waterfront next to. It's down the street from Georgetown, and of course, some of the older guys, the veteran guys, asked the rookies to come out and partake in drinks and everything. We had to end up drinking and eating probably, I'd say maybe $1,500 to $2,000 worth of food. It's not a big deal.
Oh, this is one of those dinners they had to pay for.
Yeah, exactly. Between five people, I mean, $1,500 to $2,000. That's pretty substantial. So then, I mean, the guys, the veterans, they just got up from the table and they left. And we're like, okay, maybe they just went to the bathroom and they're going to come back. Never ended up coming back. You see them driving down the street in their Bentleys or their Escalades, and we're sitting there like, okay, twiddling our thumbs, like, what are we going to do?
Oh, well, I hope you had that signing bonus.
Yeah, so they left you with the tab, huh?
Yes, they did, yes.
Oh, well, I hope you got revenge the next day in practice or something.
Oh, man, you know what? That was one thing I regret. They didn't allow us to get revenge on the veterans.
Yeah.
They would always have a short whistle on that.
Well, that's really not fair, but I guess that's the way it is in a lot of things in life. You have to pay your dues. Did you have that experience, Mike, even though you didn't play pro, but at the college level, were the freshmen or the younger guys picked on?
Oh, I have a story, but I really don't want to tell it. Yeah. We all bailed out of a pizza parlor, and it was not pretty. The next day, coach called us into the locker room and said, I got a phone call from one of our local pizza parlor people, and you guys all ditched.
Oh, well, that's just not paying, huh?
Yes.
Well, that's downright
downright not right.
All right, well, I'm shocked and appalled.
So Howard, is that like a Division II school, or I'm not familiar?
No. Howard is a Division I AA school. It's a historically black university, college and university.
Okay.
Normally they play schools like Florida A&M, Alabama A&M. You might be familiar with like Alcorn. That's a school that went
Southern.
Yeah, Southern.
Grambling.
They play schools like that. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, I grew up around
Coach Robinson.
Yeah. Yeah, then every now and then they'll play like a school like Akron, I think one of the bigger schools that we played was Eastern Michigan. So it's a Division I AA school.
So what do you do nowadays?
Yeah, tell us a little about what you're doing with the fitness and wellness.
Oh, yes. Now I'm into fitness. I'm a personal trainer. I own my own business, and I'm also a personal trainer at the Manhattan Beach Country Club. The business that I own is Leasdom Wellness Center. It's located in Hermosa Beach, 910 Hermosa Avenue, and that's Hermosa Beach, California, 90254. If anybody is ever down here, come on through, get a massage, get a facial, get your hair cut, or you can train with me on the beach.
Oh, well, I don't know if I'm going to train on the beach, but I might come for a massage or something.
I'd rather train on the beach because where I live, it's 105 degrees.
Dude,
oh my God!
He's gonna grind you up on the beach. Let me tell you.
Yeah, you know what? I was a basketball player. I was a baseball player.
But you were a pitcher.
But pitchers run more than anybody.
Yeah, run for their lives.
That is true.
All right. Well, we'll see. I'm gonna see you around. I think a lot. And any hot picks for this weekend that you feel like a game that's got to go a certain way?
Oh, my goodness. I believe that Cincinnati is going to beat San Diego.
I agree with you totally on that, yeah.
But, San Diego's actually picked to be the winner for that game. I think the spread is like +3.
That's kind of weird. That's showing Phillip Rivers a lot of respect, I think. I mean, he does deserve some respect, but Cincinnati's got a good defense.
Yeah. I just don't see San Diego's offense getting past Cincinnati's defense. And Cincinnati, when they heat up, their offense is electric.
If Andy Dalton's in the right mood, apparently it makes a difference when he plays during the day. He's better than at night, but he's very hard to predict. God. So
let's hope he ate his Wheaties for that day.
Yeah. Okay. Last.
I'm sorry.
We got time for one more pick, I think, and we got to go.
I have the Steelers beating the 49ers.
Oh, that was nice of you. Did you do that on purpose because you knew I like the Steelers? This guy's smart. He did his research.
Steelers is my favorite team.
All right, I'm definitely coming. The Steelers are your favorite team?
Yes.
All right, well, we have to talk more because I saw you wearing that Pirates hat. So that we are kindred spirits here.
Exactly.
So there's a love connection here now. I found another Pittsburgh fan.
Very true.
I'm a Steeler fan.
Okay. Well, I love you too. All right. Well, thanks a lot for being our guest, Tom. It was a lot of fun, and I'll be in touch.
I greatly appreciate it. Thank you, guys.
Okay. Take care.
Nice chatting with you.
All right. We're gonna take a short break on the commercial side, and we'll be right back to finish this off.
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdognostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
KCAA.
Okay, we're back. So you're getting really sick of all this political stuff going on now?
Yeah, I don't understand why we have to listen to all this rhetoric a year plus before we actually vote, and then when we vote, does it really matter? I mean, the electoral college.
It's pretty much set, you know.
Yeah.
Those states don't change that much, but there are, like, you know, I think there's 7 or 8 that are probably somewhat in play, you know. So they're fighting like crazy for Ohio and Florida.
New Hampshire,
well, they don't. The small states usually don't figure in too much, but New Hampshire's probably up for grabs, and who knows if the right person runs on the Republican side, a state like New Jersey might be in play. But you didn't watch the debate, huh? It was 3 hours. It was kind of exhausting.
No, I have no desire to watch the debate when it's a year away that we vote.
Yeah. Well, I was actually blogcasting that on Chabdog Radio, and I have some observations from that. If Joe the engineer is ready for the sound effects, you want to hear what Ted the tuxedoed cruiser sounded like?
Surrender that gigantic pie. To the free, my rascally restaurant!
That's all right. You can cut it. That was Burgess Meredith as the Penguin, and Ted Cruz bears a resemblance to him, I think.
Is that an old Batman movie or
yeah,
something?
That was old Batman. That was like classic Batman. You didn't watch Batman?
Not familiar. Yeah, I used to watch Batman when I was a kid, but I don't remember Meredith.
Burgess Meredith,
the
Penguin.
I don't remember him.
Well, we'll do one more. Let's just do. I thought Donald Trump was he was quite good when he was being attacked, actually, because everybody was kind of ganging up on him.
Well, I heard that if any of the other candidates mentioned his name, he got 30 seconds to respond.
Yeah, he probably wrote that contract with the broadcasters.
Yeah, so if he were smart as an opponent, you wouldn't have mentioned his name.
Yeah, but they kept asking him questions. You know, they threw that Carly Fiorina question at him. You know, and he had to tell her that she looked beautiful. And I was thinking, my grandmother would have said, "Yeah, but she's no spring chicken either."
Well, I did see a soundbite of Carly, and I thought she held her own.
No, she did. She was pretty tough. She was, I'd say, the toughest one besides him. And he kind of the Don, as I think of him now, brings to mind the Godfather. You want to play the Godfather clip?
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. You can act like a man. What's the matter with you? Is this how you turn down a Hollywood Pinocchio that cries like a woman? What can I do? What can I do? What is that?
Okay, cut it. Now that was the You remember that scene when Johnny Fontana was complaining because he wasn't giving Johnny Fontana wanted the part, and the director wouldn't give it to him, and he went to The Godfather.
Well, and then the horse's head ended up in the bed. Yeah.
Yeah. But you cannot click him on. Yeah. Some baseball teams could use some Godfather like indignation, I think, to help them, because some of these teams are feeling sorry for themselves. The Astros are they're going down the tubes.
Well, I don't
faster than Scott Walker.
I don't know if the Astros, if the Angels could overtake them. Weaver, he got lit up the other night.
Last night the Angels won, I think.
Did they?
I think the Angels are they're kind of hanging around. They won't go away. They won't die. It's a little weird. They might sneak in because Houston has got that look like they might not. Who knows when they're going to win another game.
Okay. Yeah. I haven't analyzed it all that closely. I mean, if you had to pick a team right now in the American League and in the National League, who would you say you think is going to go?
Well, I was going to say in the American League, had been leaning towards the Royals, but I think I'm now in the Blue Jays camp.
I was going to say Toronto.
And I think in the National League, God, I have to pick against my Pirates, but they lost Kang. I don't think they can overcome that. I guess you have to go with you know what? Let's go with the Dodgers, just because they got those two great pitchers, and maybe this is the year they get over the Cardinals.
The interesting thing, well, the Cardinals look pretty good too, but the interesting about the Dodgers that, I do watch occasionally, since they expanded the roster in September to 40 men, they've been playing a lot of young guys.
And those guys must be doing okay, right? I mean,
yeah. Well, I mean, the kid that's playing shortstop, Seager.
Yeah.
He's had a hell of a start.
Just even fielding well is important because they've got those two pitchers, so you don't have to score a lot of runs.
Well, and the thing I would say about Jock Peterson is, he's a good outfielder. He runs down balls. He had a hell of a start. He hit like 21 home runs in the first 3 months, and he's only hit like 4 cents. And if I was Mark McGuire as his hitting coach, I would tell Jock Peterson, try to hit the ball to left center field. Not necessarily try to hit it out, but try to hit doubles to left center field. Hit line drives, go the opposite way, stay on the ball a little bit more. Because I think he got too wrapped up in trying to hit home runs.
Yeah.
And then he was part of the home run derby, and I told our friend
he doesn't belong in there.
Well, I told our mutual friend Julie, I said, that's the kiss of death. When you participate in the home run derby, all of a sudden you're kind of toast.
Yeah, because you just want to be in the home run derby every year.
Nah.
And you can't really, I think, I'd like to know if most home run hitters try to hit home runs, or if they're just trying to hit the ball hard.
Yeah. Just put a good swing on it and make solid contact. If it gets up in the air, it goes out. If it doesn't, hit it off the wall. Take your second base, and you got a double.
Did you have a sense when you were a pitcher that you were throwing a home run pitch when you threw it?
You always knew when you hung one. So if
it happened so fast, I guess.
If a guy hit a fastball out, okay, I threw it in the wrong spot. But when you hung a curveball and they hit that out, my bad. So, I didn't give up that many home runs, though.
No, good. So you didn't have that awful feeling when you give up the walk-off homer.
And then after the guy hit the home run, I drilled the next guy in the hip.
Yeah, but it was in the hip. It wasn't in the head.
No, I never aimed at the head.
So I think the Dodgers, and did you say you agree? Yeah.
I think it's probably a toss-up between the Cardinals and the Dodgers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those darn Cardinals. I think I can say damn, but the Cardinals are always there.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see the playoffs, how they shake up. I mean, nowadays you got 18 wild card teams, and everybody plays one game and then 3 games. And
yeah,
I remember back in the day when I was a kid, you had a 5-game series for the National League pennant and then American League pennant. And then you had a 7-game World Series. Nowadays, you know.
Yeah, this single game is tough on everybody.
Oh yeah.
All right, well we're taking off now. We'll be back next week with some great guests. And
I will not.
Mike, have a nice trip.
I was going to say I'll be in my flow tube.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
You're on board KCAA's Inland Talk Express. KCAA, Loma Linda, 1050 AM, the station that leaves no listener behind.
Consider this your invitation to sell. At buysellmakeoffer.com, you can sell as much as you want for the next 60 days without paying any fees whatsoever. Sound incredible? It is, and it's true. Buysellmakeoffer.com is the new exciting way to sell your stuff online. Make extra money right now. Sell your old car, furniture, video games, household items, clothes, even your home. Sell anything that's legal. Load up your stuff to sell right now.